Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and today we are doing quite a personal collage and this will be my focal point. I will explain my choice later when we will glue this piece on. I've chosen some papers that are somehow important for me, and basically each piece that I will glue in this collage has a meaning, is somehow meaningful for me, and I will explain it when we will do it. Now I'm just show you what I have prepared for my collage as my collage folder. So I have some book pages, some study book pages, this baking paper palette. Also I will do some background with stenciling and a bit of scribbling. So I'm choosing this empty craft paper page. I am adjusting my journal so it will be easier to work with here. And I will start on creating a background. So what I will do, I will write the lyrics from my favorite Chinese song. I have been listening to this song for quite a while now, something around maybe 10, maybe not 10 years, like 7 or 8 years. And I really love this song, and yeah, it's meaningful for me. And if I will be able, I will link it for you down in the description box if you're in any way interested in the Chinese music. So yeah, so I will fill the background with it, and yeah, I've skipped some part, and this will be like my first step in creating a background. Now I will do some stenciling with purple wax. First I decided to apply it through the spatula, but it was, well, a bad choice because it has a lot of texture, and although the image is quite bright, but the texture is too much for a collage, it will be harder for me to glue the pieces on this texture, so I will further switch to the brush because it is just creates more subtle look and also more background feel to it, and yeah, not creates so much texture on the page, although I love it. So yeah, just a simple stenciling. You can also do it with the brush, with the paints, with the distress oxides, sprays, so whatever you like for creating a background page. I've just decided to try these waxes out. So here I will switch to the brush, and you will see how different it is comparing to the spatula. Like the amount of pigment is not so big because you do not apply such a thick layer of wax using your brush. Now I skipped some parts because I do pretty much the same process here and there, and yeah, compare it to the look made with the spatula and you see the difference. Yes, hi. So the background is finished. I've dried it in the meantime, and yeah, this is ready and we can start doing a collage. I will explain my choice of paper step by step, why this exact paper is important for me, what it represents. Basically, this collage is sort of like my life in one page. What I like, what I did, what I'm doing still, and yeah, this will be a lot of meaning for me. So first I will do this Japanese page. Why this one? Because I have been learning Japanese for years already, and this language is another part of me. I enjoy learning it. This is a big part of my life. I do translations. I also a teacher for a Japanese student. Well, not for Japanese students, but for students who learn Japanese. And yeah, it's a big part of my life. That's why I've chosen this exact paper. Next, I will do this sewing machine sticker. Why that? Well, because my family has its own atelier for clothes making, you know, and it was a part of my life for a long time because, well, when I was small, they have opened it, and ever since it's active. and it's been around me for so long, and I'm so used to, like, you know, getting there, take some fabric, take some lace, and it really helped me in my junk journaling because, yeah, they have a lot of scraps, like fabric scraps that I can use, and I was extremely happy that I can. So also I've put this book page. This book page is from the time, like, it's from the book that I read during like really important events. So I really wanted to put it here. And also this is the first book that I like sacrificed for junk journaling. So this is a baking paper palette. Why this one? Well, because I've started doing like art like last year when I finally came out of my hiatus, when I didn't when I hadn't done anything creative, and I've started with simple landscapes, simple sceneries with acrylic paints, and I started using this baking paper as my palette, and this is something that I really enjoy. It really helps my creativity. So the next one is a chemical study book page that I will distress a bit. Why chemical? Well, because it's my career of choice. I work as a chemist, and I've learned chemistry in the university, and yeah, this is really important for me, and I wanted to include it here as well. My cat just won't stop talking. I'm sorry if you hear her. So I put it right in the middle. I will cover it a bit, but I still know it's there. And this is where the texture is kind of interfering with my collage. This is another chemical study book page from the appendix with some numbers. I really love this page for like collage. Now, I don't think too much about the collaging itself. I just take a paper and find a good placement for it. I think I enjoy doing this type of collages where you don't think too much. Next, I decided to use this radioactive danger sticker because this is the field that I work in, and I've chosen this like specifically, and yeah, I really like my work. But probably I would like to switch to something creative for now, but it's still part of my life and it deserves a place in my collage, and yeah, let it be there. So here is the magazine page of the Marilyn Monroe, like from a film, like a screenshot, and I decided to that I want her image in my collage as well, because, well, I would like to find some different image, but that was the one that I had at the time, so I've used that. And why Marilyn Monroe? Well, because I admire her. I have been watching her films since childhood, and she was a big inspiration for me. Well, she is a big inspiration for me. So I also read the book about her life, a big fat book, her biography, and I actually read it in my, well, not childhood, but during my school life. So not a typical choice for someone during school, right? So this is a Japanese paper again, because I've covered most of it, but I still want to see some of the Japanese on my paper. And now I'm trying to include my focal point, but before I will put the third element of this palette paper, because, well, it always works when you add the triangle form, because your eye can wander a bit through your collage. I don't stick to this rule like all the time, but here it works well. So about my focal point, you can also notice that this is my logo now. And why such an interesting piece? Well, I dedicated this piece to me sacrificing art to the chemistry, because when in my school time I wanted to be a game designer. I wanted to create game characters, and I also learned art and it was creative and stuff, but in the end I I chose chemistry and I went to the chemical university and finished it, graduated, and started working in this field. And I had basically absolutely no time for the art, for the creating, and at some point I realized that I don't like my works anymore, my art, because, well, my skill went so down and I didn't have any pleasure in doing this, so I stopped, and only until the last year I wasn't doing it, like for maybe 5 or even more years. And yeah, last year I finally decided to start, and here I am doing my own creative YouTube. And this art is like, I still in my like chemical field, my chemical flask, but art is also living there, although it still cannot like overflow the flask, but it will eventually. And yeah, it's still a chemistry, but also an art, and you can combine these two like beautifully. And yeah, this art lives in my chemical flask, and at some point it will overflow, I hope, but for now, let it be so. And I enjoy it. I think that it is really important to find time for like your hobbies, even if you don't, well, maybe at some point in your life you will be able to continue, and that's what I like the most in it. So yeah, this is my focal point, quite meaningful for me, and yeah, I really wanted to make a collage with it. This is how this page actually started, from this exact focal point. Now I will proceed with like smoothing the edges with the Crackle Paint. It can dry with the heat, so it crackles really fast because of that. And I will apply it mostly on the edges, on the intersections, because I really didn't want to add something that wasn't, connected to me in any way, like related to me in any way, just, to cover the intersection. So I decided to go with this Crackle Paint look. And also it creates this like dream impression. As you know, in cartoons, when they dream about something, there is like a cloudy form balloon. Yeah, this reminds me of that, of the clouds, of the dreaming. So I've added it here and there. And it will not stay this like white. I will distress it a bit, of course. And because of the crackles, the distressing looks even nicer. So now I will dry it, and you will see the dry result. So yeah, drying time. And here it is, ready one. You can see these beautiful crackles. So the more you put, the more crackles you have, but do not, overload it. Now I'm just stressing it to kind of just cover the white a bit and to add the texture, because the oxide that I've thinned down with water will go to the crackles, and it will shadow them a bit, and it will be more prominent. So I'm just adding it on the Crackle Paint spots. So let me know in the comments if you have done like any meaningful collages yourself, maybe with your piece of art, with like some papers that were really important for you, because I think I'm doing it like all the time, these meaningful collages, and this one is the most meaningful, of course, but yeah, I think including some meaning in your collage is always nice, but even if you don't, it's absolutely okay. Now we'll proceed with some splattering. In the end, I wasn't really sure that I needed the purple ones, but it's okay. And actually, the reason why there is a lot of purple, like the background is purple and the splattering are purple, because I love purple. It's my favorite color, and yeah, it also has a reason why the purple is here. But this one is a little bit too dark, and maybe the splattering went a bit in its own direction, but I don't mind it. Actually, on the messy side of crafting, messy side of art, and I love, abstract art, I love like messy collages, I love mixed media for its freedom of what you do, because, well, not exactly in my work, but I have to be precise. I cannot make mistakes, and here I can, and that's what I really enjoy in my art. I hope you don't hear my cat just meowing in the background. So yeah, now I'm adding white splatters because yeah, I really needed this, you know, negative space at least a little bit. So yeah, just a little bit of white in my page. Never can, you know, make any harm. You can also go like for the black splatters or gold splatters. Actually would be nice because we have some gold in here as well. I haven't thought about that. So I'm adding a bit of, you know, brush strokes in white. Not very noticeable. And I purposely avoided my focal point with splattering. Now I will add a sentiment because I felt that I really need something more to this page. And I will do follow your passion because, well, that's what I do. I decided that I don't want to give up on art and I want to continue. And yeah, that's why follow your passion. I will do 2 pieces of that because I cut it too much and will have to redo it. Also, if you're interested in the bigger scale version of this focal point, you can take a look at my Instagram. It will be linked down below in the description box. Unfortunately, I cannot link the supplies, well, except of the distress line because, well, everything that I use is only from local shops and they do not sell abroad. I hope it's okay. So actually you can find similar supplies, similar media, I'm sure. Also a Tim Holtz Ranger have their own Crackle Paint and so on. And waxes, of course. And now I will put these sentiments on a book page because I thought they need a little bit more definition to it to kind of stand out on this busy background. I don't know if it made it any better, but from my perspective back then, it did. So yeah, just a little bit of touring the edges, and that's usually what I do when I want to add the sentiment. I usually glue them on a book page, but not necessarily. I'm also adding a little bit of inking, just as I've said, I give it a little bit more definition. And as you can see, I decided not to waste any ink. The walnut stain I've put on this book page that you can see on the left. The Villainous Potion I've splattered also on the previous page. And I also put the excess on a different book page, on a Japanese one. So I will not lose this ink because, well, it is actually quite expensive and I want to use it in some point. It will create a beautiful collage fodder anyway. And I really love how Villainous Potion dries on the book pages. It gives this almost turquoise edge to the splatter. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does in some cases, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy this effect. So yeah, my sentiments are almost done, and I think they finish the piece quite well. It now feels like a finished piece. Everything is on its own place, and I really enjoyed doing this. So yeah, this is a ready collage. I hope you liked the video. For sure I had so much fun doing it. I encourage you to do your own personal collage, homework. And if you like the video, please put the thumbs up. Tell me something interesting in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!